Okay, so we discussed about the marketing management orientation. Okay, and now the other thing that that you can also consider is to think about the marketing management orientation. Okay, let's say companies like McDonald's, for instance, what marketing management orientation concept that they adopt. Okay, and guys, what do you think? The marketing management orientation concept that McDonald's adopts?
Production.
Production. Okay, fair enough. Why is that?
Because they developed a system that they can put anywhere in the world at set practices to develop a product that is the same every time at a low price for people.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What about the other? What do others think? Can a company adopt more than one or not?
Based on your feedback earlier, I say no, because basically what it's doing is it provides a structure for the whole business.
Fair enough. Yeah, it can create disruption to the business because they are kind of directing the organization to different directions, okay, to different ways. Okay, you could argue that McDonald's adopts the production concept due to the fact that they try to keep the product affordable. Okay? And when you analyze that, you can also offer, facts such as they try to make their product, cheap, like with the coin, for instance, the coin campaign that they have been running so far. Okay, you could also argue that actually, hang on a second, if you look at deeper, okay, look at more facts about McDonald's. Okay, they've been running a number of things for instance, okay, they look at the situation that has changed in the market. Okay, the customers now demand more and more healthy alternative. For instance, okay. Now, what is the biggest problem that McDonald's has? Well, you could argue that it is the brand image, right? People think that they are not healthy, being in junk food category, offering junk food category. Okay, but to battle that, they try to do anything. Right? A few years ago, they engaged with a TIC foundation. Okay, in Australia, so they got that TIC foundation, and suddenly the Heart Foundation Australia found, hey, hang on a second, guys, you're actually offering something unhealthy. Okay, so we can't offer you that the same thing again for you. Okay, and but they have the resources to to develop anything, right? So they offer healthy alternative for customers. Okay, they offer salad, for instance. Okay, so that helps them to adjust to the environment. Okay, they also offer. Recently, they just focus on their restaurant concepts. Okay, they offer to the to deliver to the table. You place the order, and they'll get someone to deliver to the table. Okay, so what does it mean? That actually shows to us that they try to understand the customers. Okay, they try to understand the market trends. Okay, now this is the thing I'd like to highlight. Okay, so yes, we discussed about marketing being marketing actually includes a number of things, a number of keywords, right? If you look at the definitions of marketing that we just discussed before, that includes the concept of exchange, relationship, needs, wants, okay, value, okay. So what do marketers do actually? Look, a lot of scholars offer a number of things in terms of the process in marketing. Okay? Like any other business functions, marketing also has process. Okay, one of the things that you can also consider in terms of marketing process, basically it consists of these 4 steps. The first one is understand. Okay, based on the definition that we discussed before. Okay, what do we mean by understand? We understand the market. Okay, we understand the situation, which is basically your first assessment. Understand the situation. Understand the market environment that we face as a business. Okay. The second thing that we do is to create. What do we mean by here? Create the offering. Okay, what are we going to offer for the customers? Okay, what's that? Okay, we design it. Okay, and we communicate it. Yes, we have created the offering. Well, look, if we create the offering, we also need to communicate it. Otherwise, people will not be aware of what we offer. Okay, therefore, the social media thing, the Facebook thing, the Instagram, the Twitter, LinkedIn are basically a small part of the marketing, right? In the marketing process. Okay. And the next one is, well, we have created the offering, we have communicated what we offer to induce, to stimulate awareness and trial. Okay? The next thing that we need to do is to deliver it. Okay? To deliver the promise, deliver what we promise for the customers. Okay, and then after that, what's next? Yes, we have done those things. The next thing that we do is go back to understand. Right? Because after we deliver, we can learn something. Right? What worked, what didn't work. Right? From business management perspective, we have, as an organization, we have to always learn from what we do. Okay, and then that helps us to generate further insights in terms of the possible opportunities, for instance, in terms of possible improvements. Okay, for the future. Right, so that's basically what we do in terms of marketing. Okay, and again, this slide shows the extended marketing mix variables that include 7 P's. Now, for your assessment too, if you focus on, I think they also want you to look at the other 3 variables. Okay, briefly, and look. This one actually shows a snapshot of what the variables are. Okay, product service includes the varieties. Okay, we are going to discuss that in more detail when it comes to marketing variables. Okay, the price includes the how much we charge for the customers, or how much would customers be willingly to spend to acquire the benefit of our product. Placement is actually about the distribution and marketing channel channel strategy, and promotion actually is about these issues in here. Now, they are what we call as the core marketing mix variables: product, price, place, and promotion. Okay, and the other 3, people, process, and physical evidence, are basically the extended marketing mix variables. Okay, so they focus on the delivery of the service for the customers. Okay, they focus on the deliveries of service for the customers. Okay, people actually include all staff or people elements, right? Any staff in our human resources management to deliver the service for the customers. Okay? Think about businesses like David Jones, for instance. To deliver the service for the customers, they include people on the floor. They include people on, doing the cash register. They include people working at the back end there to make sure the merchandise, flowing to the floors, right? And flowing from the suppliers to the warehouse and to the floors, basically. Okay, so that's people component. Okay? The next thing is about the process, okay? Which is basically about any system that the company adopts, to system and technology that a company adopts to ensure that the service is delivered for the customers. If you look at a retail business like David Jones or the others, it includes a number of things: the cash register, this barcode scanner, and so on and so forth. Okay, it also includes the system in terms of ordering. It also includes system in terms of launching new fashion, for instance, for the customers. Okay? And the next one is the physical evidence, which is basically about the tangible and intangible cues to symbolize that service is delivered for the customers. Okay, in the retail environments, they include it includes the logo of the store, the ambience of the store, how the store is designed, the layout of the store. Okay. And so on and so forth. Okay, so that's part of the physical evidence, including the merchandise that they display on in the store. Okay? Part of the physical evidence. Okay, right. So that's basically the. Oh, why do I come back here? That's basically the marketing mix variables. Okay. The next one is just briefly about the capturing value from customers. We have a number of things in here. The first one, but I'm not going to discuss that in more detail. So again, we create customer loyalty and retention. That's our aim. And grow share of the customers. That means we try to introduce new things for the customers. For instance, if you look at people like Apple, they introduce more and more offering to increase the share of the customer's wallet. Right? And then they build the customer equity. And lastly, they build the right relationship with the right customers. Right? Now, that is an interesting one in terms of the building the right relationship with the right customers. Okay, there are some scholars suggest to use this matrix to map the customers. Okay, in terms of the building the right relationship with the right customers. Okay, using these two variables, potential profitability and projected loyalty. Okay, we can group the customers based on these four quadrants: the true friends, butterflies, the barnacles, and also strangers. Okay. The true friends actually reflect the customers that have good fit between what we offer and their needs. Okay, and what they purchase from us is basically something profitable for us. Okay, so very, in the business environment, everybody shouts, "Hey, I'm lacking of resources. I need more resources." Everybody does that. Okay, everybody, all businesses do that. Okay, shouting that they are lacking of resources. Therefore, it is very reasonable if we focus on the true friends. Okay, the butterflies are basically have a good fit between what we offer and their need, but they have the behavior of moving. Like the butterfly in the meadow, they may move from one brand to the other brand. Okay, there are some customers who behave that way. When they find, oh, this product is on special, let me move, let me buy that product. Okay, and after that, they may come back to us. Okay, that's a good thing about the butterfly. They may come back again to us. Okay, the next one is strangers, which is basically about a group of customers that have actually little fit. Therefore, we call them as the strangers. All right, they buy something that, okay, what is that? Okay, so the connection between the two, between what we offer and the customer's needs, are quite little, and that what they purchase is actually something that generates a low level of profit. Now, the next one is the barnacles, which is probably the headache of the marketers. They're quite loyal to us. Okay, quite loyal because the customers find strong fit between what we offer and what they need. Okay, but what they purchase is something at low level of value. Therefore, the profit is not that high. So, what do you think, guys, we must do as a marketer in this instance? If you have a group of barnacles,
I have a suggestion that we may want to survey those customers to find out if there are other needs or wants, or they're spending money somewhere else that we might actually have a match for them to increase how much they spend.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Any other thoughts? What's the problem with the barnacles? We don't have any problem with the loyalty of the barnacles, yeah? We do have problem with the profit, okay? Because these guys purchase something, that is of low value. Okay, so if the problem is the profit, then this is the thing that we need to attack. Okay, how do we address profit? Well, number of things that we can do. All right, we can increase the price. Okay, we can increase the price. All right, increase the price, or we reduce costs. Okay, so either increase the price or reduce the cost. Or the other thing that we can also do, we can also consider, is to do the cross-selling. Okay, we can get them to bundle. Hey, look, yes, you buy that one. Can you also please buy these? We package them. Okay, so we can actually have the opportunity to increase the profitability. Okay, so increase the price, reduce the cost. How do we reduce the cost? In service industry, we may reduce the level of service. Okay, we may reduce the level of service. Okay. Like one of the FedEx in America did that. They originally pick up the packages, either small or large, from the customers to be delivered to the customers of the customers, right? Until they found, oh, hang on a second, we're not making profits. Okay, so they reduce the cost. How do they do that? They openly talk to the customers. Hey guys, we're not making profit. Actually, we can't sustain this business. Okay, so what we offer for you is two options. Either you increase the price, so we can give you the premium service by collecting your package from your office, or you can drop off your package to our depot, and we are going to deliver that to your customers. Okay, so with that, they actually increase the profits. They can increase the profits. Okay, question: what about if we have barnacles who are stubborn? No, I don't want to increase the price, and I still want to have the same level of service. What do we do?
You have to evaluate what percentage of revenue the barnacles contribute to your business and what would happen if you moved on without them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you can do that. The revenue they generate may not be bad. It may not be bad. Okay, it's just the gross margin that the purchase the gross margin of the product or service that they purchase is quite low, so it doesn't generate high level of profits. Okay, so if that is the option of the customers, then it may be what we call as the moment of truth with the customers. Okay, we could get back to them. Look, sorry, we can't service you. Okay, I'm sorry, we can't. We like you to be our customers, but unfortunately, we are not able to service you. Okay, so that's the moment of truth eventually. Okay, right. So hopefully that gives us an idea in terms of, yes, in the beginning of this conversation, we say that relationship is key. Okay, but we also need to look at which relationship, which customer that we want to build relationship with, because building relationship means investment. Okay, as a marketer, we are also required to show what we do contributes to the achievement of the organization's goal. Okay, right. Now, look, guys. In the beginning of this our discussion, we say that we have two variables that we discuss. Okay, the company, okay, or the marketer, and the other one is the consumers or the customers in a nutshell. Okay, but actually, it may be a bit oversimplified. Okay, because beyond these two, we also have the marketing intermediaries or the middlemen. Okay. The resellers, okay, the distributors, for instance, okay, and we also need to consider the competitors who tries to convince the consumers as well. Hey, buy me, okay. In doing so, we may be working with the same marketing intermediaries, right? In Australia, Woolies and Coles may serve the same suppliers, right? If we represent a biscuit company or a chocolate bar company, Woolies and Coles also service the same the other chocolate bar companies. Okay, and to deliver our promise for the customers, we need to work with the suppliers. Okay, we need to work with the suppliers because the suppliers help us providing with the ingredient, raw material, and packaging material, for instance. Okay. Oh, okay, guys, can you hear me fine?
Yes, no worries, Eddie.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Kimmy. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing your thought. If I can share Kimmy's to everyone, reevaluate the communication value proposition. Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, you can do that. Reevaluate it. Right. That's a good answer actually. Okay, thanks, Kimmy. Okay, so suppliers. Okay, now when we work with the suppliers, it is also likely that the suppliers service the competitors as well. Okay, but we do need to work with the suppliers. Now, in the olden days, when I started my career in marketing, there was a jargon in the corporate world that shows customer is king. Customer is king. Okay, and so when I met my customers and when I met my supplier, hey, look, I'm your king. Okay, hail, Eddie. Okay, but actually now we also say that everybody in here has their own role in creating value for customers. Okay, now on top of that, we also have the major environmental forces. We also have major environmental forces that affect everybody. Okay, these major environmental forces, we like it or not, will affect everybody. Who is everybody? Everybody in here are basically these guys, all variables that we just discussed before. Okay, now the one above the line basically are labeled as the micro environmental actors. Okay, the major environmental forces in here are basically the larger societal forces, as mentioned before, societal forces that affect everybody, okay, or micro environmental actors. Micro environmental actors, okay? So, in other words, these guys will be affected by the larger environmental forces, okay? Now, look, guys, this is actually the essence of your assessment one, okay? Your assessment one actually requires you to research these guys, okay? The consumer, the customers, the competitors, the major environmental forces, and so on and so forth, right? Now, we are going to discuss this in more detail in the next in presentation 2, right? Let's move on, okay? Now, just briefly about the entrepreneurship, why we discussed the entire thing in here, just briefly about it. I know that may exceed a bit of time, but just briefly about it. So hopefully with that, we can also see the connection between what we do in marketing and in the entire process. Okay? And the first thing I'd like to highlight is the profit enterprise system, which is basically about the capitalism system. Okay, it is about the economic system that rewards individuals or firms. Okay. For the ability to serve the customer's demand or needs better than the others. So we can claim the rewards. Okay? In this system, we actually have minimized the government control. Okay? So the government still plays a control in here. Okay? But we have minimized that. Let's contrast that to the communism system, where we actually it is more into state control. Okay? So in our system, everybody is allowed to get the incentive. What is the incentive? Maximize profit. Now, remember the ethic that we are going to discuss next week. Okay, in terms of claiming the reward from the customers. Okay. There are 4 basic rights to operate. So the marketing concepts that we discussed before in the profit enterprise system, we have to have these 4 basic rights. Okay. The rights of proper owning or renting property, okay. The right to compete, okay. Freedom of choice. We have the freedom of choice. Which one that we want to compete, or which one that which career that we want to be in, or which industry that we want to be in, okay. And right to claim the profit of our activities. Okay. Right. So, what is entrepreneurship? Well. It is probably a bit difficult to define entrepreneurship, but some characteristics, some features of entrepreneurship includes risk taker. They are risk takers actually. Okay, so how do they take risks? Well, they analyze the market, they analyze the opportunities, and from there they seize the opportunities and to convert that into initiatives. Right, the guys at Apple, the guys at Facebook, for instance, or Google, for instance, when they innovate something, they actually take risks. What about if their innovation doesn't work? Okay, with that, they actually drive the economic growth. Okay, so in other words, these guys drive the economic growth through their innovation. Okay, or when they introduce their innovation, they actually do what we call as the creative destruction. Okay, so they replace something with something new that is better for the customers. Okay, now you may recall that guys, in 15-20 years ago, you may recall that the mobile phone, the market leader in mobile phone category was Nokia with 65% market share. You may recall that. Okay, and then the guys at the RIM BlackBerry and also Apple at the time with iPhone offered something better. Okay, with the better connection, customers can do browsing, can do Facebook, can do, and so on and so forth, right? You imagine that if your mobile phone cannot connect to Facebook and you are on a train or a bus and you're trapped on traffic, it may be boring. Okay, so they offer something better for the customers. With that, they actually drive economic growth. Okay, because they offer something better. Okay, and actually that is your task. That is our task actually in marketing. Offer something better. Okay. Okay. Well, it is actually a relentless pursuit of success. If you look at this guy here, this fellow here, well, he is now worth $22.5 billion actually. Okay, $22.5 billion US dollars. Okay, yeah, that's what we strive to do as an entrepreneur. Okay. Types of entrepreneurs, I'm not going to discuss that more detail, okay? And profit and not profit organizations, just briefly, there are two types of organizations from profit-making perspective, okay? And just briefly about the role of entrepreneurship in the in crisis, in hard times, all right? During the Great Depression, GE introduced the fluorescent light bulb, okay? And Eisenhower, during Eisenhower recession, Ray Kroc opened the first McDonald's store. Okay, and during the Vietnam War and oil crisis, Bill Gates and Paul Allen formed Microsoft. And until now, those businesses are still strong in the market. Okay, right, guys. So that's basically the main points that I'd like to discuss with you here. And any questions so far?
No, nothing else at the moment, Eddie. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
Thank you.
Very
right,
clear.
and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Sounds great. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks.
Right, you too. You too. Bye.
Thank you.